Hi folks, welcome to another video. Today we're going to be looking at the Terra Nova Laser Comp 1 and the Hilleberg Solo. We're going to pitch them side by side and then just give you an idea of the space inside the porch and also the area that you're actually going to be sleeping in. Both tents I own. I upgraded to the Hilleberg about a year ago. I haven't really looked back, but I've kept the Terra Nova anyway, just as a lightweight option in case I really want to go lightweight in the cooler summer months. So without further ado, we're going to kick off, and the first one we're going to begin with is the Terra Nova. As you can see in the bottom right hand corner is all the stats on it. So the weight is under a kilo. Really good pack size, 42 by 12. Very skinny, so it fits into the smallest of rucksacks. The pitching time I usually found was under 10 minutes, so in this particular time it took 9 minutes 30. The cost new then is about 3 to 350 quid, and the cost second hand is about £150. The second hand cost is just based on a number of different second hand websites. So I've just taken the average off eBay, Gumtree, Dundee, etc. And the general sort of second hand cost is about £150 for a decent condition Terra Nova. As you can see here, I'm just making the final touches to the tent. The tent itself is a single pole with two smaller end poles about 30 centimeters at your foot and at your head end. It can be pitched inner and outer together or outer first. So outer first has a huge advantage in bad weather. You can basically get the outer and a bit of shelter up in a couple of minutes, throw all your gear in, and then you can actually pitch strap in your inner once you're in the tent in the dry. So the Hilleberg Solo then, it's quite a bit heavier. It's 2.4 kilos. It's a thicker pack size, same sort of length. Pitching time's about 2 minutes longer than the Terra Nova. It's actually easier to pitch, but it takes longer. The cost new is about 800 quid, and the cost second hand is about £650. Again, these are just moving averages on a couple of different websites, but I've seen 5-year-old Hilleberg Solos for about 500 quid. So that's 5 to 6-year-old ones, and they're only maybe losing about 2 to 300 quid off their new value. So they really hold their value really well. It's a major advantage if you're maybe concerned about going for one of these due to the cost. At least you'll get most of your money back. So it's a 3-pole tent, 2 poles the exact same length, and then 1 shorter pole which goes over the top of them. Hilleberg's instructions actually state that the smaller pole in the middle is the last to go in. I know there's some videos online showing it differently, but Hilleberg's instructions that actually come with the tent do explain this. It's a fully freestanding tent, and it is a 4-season tent as well. So I've had this in nice enough wind conditions, nothing too drastic in storms, but it doesn't move. It doesn't even pull the pegs or anything out of the ground. It is such a solid tent. So go back to the Terra Nova. This is from the outside looking in with the door pegged back. Just use 7-up tins just to give you an idea, a bit of a reference for size. As you can see, you've got a great porch and you have plenty of storage there to store your rucksack and your boots. Up the far end is where I would usually store my wet gear and boots, anything like that I don't need through the night or doesn't need to be within arm's length. As you can see there are the boots, and the other area in the porch, I like having my rucksack or other bits there just in case I need anything through the night. So this is the area looking in the tent, looking out onto the porch. So the left hand side shows my ruck. It's just panning around to the right here, and this part of the grass is where I would usually do my cooking if it was caught in the weather, bad weather, apologies. So as you can see, the porch is like a mirror image. One side is the exact same, identical to the other. So you have great room. You have that room right up at the end, and it allows for plenty of storage of any wet gear. This is me just lying inside the tent. So I'm about 15 stone, I'm 6'3", I'm not the most delicate of things. So it is quite tight around my face, but it's wild camping at the end of the day. It's not glamping. It's meant to be a wee bit more rougher around the edges. But again, the tent it's plenty for one man. You'll not get 2 men into this tent or 2 small adults or anything like that. It's a 1-man tent. This is just at the end where your feet would be, and you have the same at the other end where your head would be. So plenty of storage between your mat and the inner wall. This is a full length mat. And this is the inside wall facing the door, so this is between my mat and the inside of the inner. Another wee shot showing looking down the tent towards your feet. And this is the door of the inner, now fully zip closed, so you can see it's a full door, 2 zips, it rolls right down. It's half material, half mesh, and I never had any issues with condensation or ventilation. I felt it was well vented. One gripe I had is the door didn't have any toggles, so you couldn't pin it back and store it away neatly, but again, it's a small issue. And this is just the last looking into the Terra Nova. Up next then is the Hilleberg Solo. As you can probably note straight away, it looks a lot less spacious and airy, but it allows for more room in the actual inner itself. So I don't mind that. It's a bigger inner in my opinion anyway, bigger around the shoulders, bigger around the face, so I don't mind a smaller porch. This is me, same sort of frame as before, lying in the tent. Doors in the inner down, both of the doors the outer down, and we're just looking into the porch area. So left hand side again would be where I can store all my gear, and this right hand side then is going to be where I'm going to do some cooking on this area of grass. If you are doing some cooking, then you have the option of opening the top vent, something similar, or something new, apologies, in this compared to the Terra Nova. It is it's a twin zip, is probably the easiest way of explaining it. So it's zipped down both sides. You peel the zip right down, and that just allows for a ventilation to let out any condensation. This is another great feature. You can actually pass a toggle through the bottom of the zip, and it stops the zip and the door getting pulled up and open in stormy conditions. This is lying in the inner looking out then, so it's twin door in the inner, and both are pegged back. As you can see, it's nice and neat, nice and tidy, plenty of space. It's nice and airy as well. So there's been times I've been caught in the rain, I've just left them 2 doors open and just lied and had plenty of room. This is the door then pegged back as such, so one half of the door is full material, and the door you're seeing now is mesh with the material door rolled down. So I usually sleep like this. The left hand side would be full material, the right hand side then is half mesh. So it's closed, it's away from the elements and the bugs and the spiders, but you're still getting ventilation. This is just the small features you see in a Hilleberg tent, the wee toggles like that to keep all your storage neat. Plenty of room then in the tent, and again this is just the same sort of tins showing you the space around it. This is as if you're lying down looking up. It's real bright, airy, yellow. It just gives a real good feeling. There's a couple of wee toggles there that you can hang lamps or a washing line that I've had to do once. And this is at the head end where you're going to be lying. You can put your phone, keys, any other valuable property into that. Another great feature is it's a bathtub ground sheet. Plenty of room here to set up. Again, I'm 6'3", and there is quite a lot of room. I can set up and change compared to the Terra Nova. I couldn't have done this, so I can set up straight, no issues, plenty of room. It's just a great tent in bad conditions. Thanks very much for watching, and that was just a quick insight to the 2 tents.